say anything about how that trip was organized?
The trip to Mexico.
To Mexico. Who all went? How it was organized? Who organized it?
We didn't hear anything about organization, but I've heard of a trip to Mexico. Yes.
Can tell you who was? I have John 57. I have Luqman himself. I've got Reuben. And there was someone else.
Reuben, you say Reuben was there?
Reuben.
Okay. Francis Reuben?
Yeah, Reuben Francis.
Reuben Francis, right. I've heard that name before.
Okay.
There were, you say, 3 people in there?
Yes. Well, so says what was reported. It was 3 people. We know that there was that 4th person.
Right.
There, right?
So that 4th person is of interest to, so shall I say certain people or to you?
You can say both. To me and
certain people.
Yeah, you can say his name if you want. It's up to you.
Oh, you mean I've heard of was he a Japanese or Chinese? Japanese?
Yeah,
Seigo Takahari.
Seiko Takahara.
Something.
Well, one name he gave was James Takahara. Right?
James Takahara. I never heard of it. I just heard of Seigo, something like that. Seigo Takahari. I know that Takahari is a correct pronunciation.
Takahari.
Takahari.
Okay. And he was also referred to as
or Takahara.
Okay.
Yeah. Sensei. Yeah. Sensei. Yes.
And he was in the car with him when they left New York to go down to Mexico.
Yes, he was in the car at Mexico. I do know in Mexico he was in the car. So this morning I heard that he took the trip to Mexico. Yes, I've heard that story too. Yeah, there was like 2 stories. Well, you know how that goes. But yeah, I've heard that.
Luqman told you that while in Mexico, something must have taken place for Sensei to no longer be here.
Yes, I've heard that.
Did he say? Did he say what happened?
He mentioned it. He mentioned it. Yes. There were a few people that he became very intimate with. We were a circle of people. You know, it was a few people that come together and just talk about those things. Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you what has been told to me, and we can just talk freely.
Okay.
Okay. There is speculation that Sensei was kind of up to no good.
Yes.
There's been reports, or there's been beliefs by people in that same circle that Sensei was an FBI informant.
Yes.
He was working for the intelligence community.
Yes.
Okay. And that Sensei's activities are in some way connected with the assassination of Brother Malcolm
Yes,
X.
correct.
Okay. What did Luqman tell you about Sensei, his connection with Malcolm's death, or his connection with him going down to Mexico?
Well, there were some people that were trained by Sensei to do that job. That's the information that I've gathered. That he trained these people, and so Luqman was aware that he was responsible for that. So the mystery is, why did Sensei go to Mexico with Luqman? It was something that was agreed upon for some reason. And the reason that we gather is that Luqman wanted to get him, and he wanted to get Luke Mon. You know, that was a thing. Because, see, they actually wanted everybody that was connected to Malcolm, you know, after Malcolm's death. So the establishment was going around getting everybody. That's why they gathered the people that they gathered, because those were the closer people to Malcolm. So those are the people. So that's why Luke Mon left.
Did Luke Mon say that? Is that
Yes.
Luke Mon's belief?
Yeah, that's what he said. Yes. Those are his words. Yeah.
So he felt that Sensei got him to go down there, okay.
Luqman, the way he says it, he was responsible for him going there. He wanted to take him there, but Sensei wanted to go for that particular reason. But
Luqman said it. So whose idea was it to go to?
Luqman was going. He was going because he had to go because of the thing that had happened with Malcolm, and the system was trying to round up all the people that was affiliated with Malcolm. So Luqman saw fit that he needed to go because not only that, he was the one that was getting the gun out of Malcolm's belt.
Right.
So he had to go. That's.
And then you're saying that Sensei hopped in with Luqman to go down to Mexico?
Yeah, something like that. But I don't know what his purpose was. I never heard exactly what that purpose was. But all I know is that he went with him, and Luqman wanted him to go. But Sensei had other plans.
But how did they end up going?
Car.
Okay, but Sensei had other plans?
Yeah.
Not to want to go?
No. I mean, he had other plans once he got there of how. So Luqman was just aware of what he was trying to do, and he wasn't aware that Luqman knew, what the deal was.
What the deal was?
Yeah.
Did Luqman give you indication as to how he found out about what he felt Sensei's plans were?
Well, one thing that happened was that when he got to Mexico, Sensei had to go back because he didn't have his papers in order. That's one story that I heard.
Had to go back to New York?
Back to New York because his papers wasn't in order. So when Sensei went back, and when he returned, they had switched. So the man that came back to Mexico was not the same Sensei, and that was detected by Luqman.
I heard something similar to that. How did Luqman make a determination that these were two different people?
By the size of his feet, something to do with his feet. The feet didn't match up. When he looked down at his feet when he was coming through security, he noticed that he wasn't walking a certain way, or his shoes were too small or too big. It had to do with the feet. And that's when he realized that wasn't Sensei. Because he knew, everything about Sensei. He had been studying. That's the kind of person Luqman was. He was. He was Sensei. He was a ninja. He was an assassin. So that's what he did.
And Luqman was one. What was the relationship like between Luqman and Sensei prior to Malcolm's assassination? Did you get into that?
I see where you're coming from. But Luqman converted. He was like a converted to Malcolm. As he was called, to take Malcolm out at one time. But he just converted and became like totally into Malcolm. He was asked again from that Sensei, to do stuff like that.
Okay, now we're getting into something. I'm going to tell you, tell me, okay, I'm going to tell you what Luke Mon told me. But prior to that, can you tell me who was it that sent Luke Mon to do Malcolm bodily harm? Is that correct? Somebody sent Luke Mon to do something to Malcolm.
You mean in the beginning?
In the beginning. Didn't Luke Mon, is that what you're saying? He went to go to Malcolm to do something to Malcolm. He meaning Luke Mon.
Yeah. You mean the time when one of the brothers from the nation told him to go bomb the car?
Not that time. Is there another time? I know about that. He said that was Captain. That was Captain Joseph.
Captain Joseph.
Right. And he said that you wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yes,
right.
that's Captain Joseph's story. Right. He didn't do it. So I've heard something that Sensei was on a mission, and he was in between that particular mission of Sensei. I heard that, but I don't know anything in depth about it or nothing like that. I was aware that they had some type relationship in the beginning because everybody was like loyal to Sensei, and Abdul was just a free agent and things like that. So we don't know whether he was a part of the government's plan to kill Malcolm. We don't know. We just speculate about stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't know, but is there some? Go ahead.
No, I mean it's possible if you look at it real close, because nobody really knows. You know, just have this Luqman knew certain things, but if you look at it logically, you know, there's a lot of possibilities. You know, there are a lot of possibilities.
Did Luqman say anything about? Did Luqman say anything about Malcolm? Let me back up. It seems as though, and I'm just saying what it seems.
Mhm.
Okay, it seems as though that Luqman doesn't have any particular loyalty one way or the other at one point.
Well, you know, that was before he was asked to take Malcolm out by the nation.
Okay.
But after that, you know, him and Malcolm became close. I mean, real close. Luqman was like practically thinking for Malcolm. That's the thing that I got of the whole essence. He was thinking for Malcolm, basically. I mean, he was making things happen behind the scenes that Malcolm sometimes didn't even know anything about. Yeah. I mean, that's those 9 months, you know, those 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Luqman tell you anything about at one point he came to do Malcolm out separate from the placing the bomb underneath his car?
I hadn't heard anything about that, no.
He tells me a story where he came to do something to Malcolm about this angel of death thing.
You mean when he put the gun in Malcolm's face?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know that story. That's the conversion point right there. Okay, I remember that story, and they sent Luqman. I think it was the nation that sent, and he told me that he put the gun in Malcolm's face, and Malcolm said, "If it's God's will, let it be."
That's right.
Say, "God will, let it be," and that's when it got to him right there, and he, you know, it hit him for some reason. It touched Luqman, and that's when he became like, okay, Malcolm was his God, in other words, you know. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so that's consistent.
Yeah, yeah, same story.
Okay, all right. So is that the same point when they wanted him to place the bomb underneath his car?
I think that's a different time. A different time. It might be close together there. I'm not sure, because the bomb thing seems to be separate, as I read it in Manning Marable's book.
Right.
I think it's separate from that particular
Right.
one. And I don't know if that story it's not in the book, is it? There's a story that we just
the gun in
yeah,
his face? No.
you never, that's not in the book.
He just told me that.
Yeah, that's a part of that outside story. So I don't know the timing of it, but it wasn't at that particular time. It was a different time.
Okay, so as we get closer to talking about Sensei, so Luqman believes Sensei was a FBI informant,
Right.
and he believes he was sent there
Right.
to oversee the death of Malcolm. So
Yes, yes.
that's what
That's it. Yeah, that's what he believed it is.
Okay, so what eventually? So did he say? Did he, meaning Luqman, say anything about what role he felt Sensei played in the death of Malcolm?
Yeah, he that's why Sensei was taken out, because they were aware that he was responsible for it.
Did he say how he was responsible? How they believe his role was played?
Well, they say they knew for a fact, because they even went in jail and got people out and interrogated people and everything. So
In New York?
yeah, they
Who was it they?
the inner circle of people like Luqman and whoever they had working with them there in that city. So they found out exactly who did what, who did what. Yeah.
Did they believe it was? What did he? They didn't believe it was Thomas Johnson and Norman Butler, the two that was arrested.
No, they know that it wasn't. They know that it wasn't them. That whoever did it, they was taken care of, and that was known. Malcolm had a very sophisticated inner circle of people. Luqman was a hell of a guy. I mean, he was a serious. I mean, he's like storybook character kind of guy.
Yeah, we know that he was serious business.
Yeah, he was. I saw a picture of him. He had a briefcase, and he was looking real serious with his picture. And I said, "Look, Mom, what are you doing? What's in there? What you finna do?" because he was looking like way ahead of Malcolm. He said, well, don't worry about it. Whatever I had in there, it could take down that whole block right there. You know, how he was talking. So he said he could level that whole block with whatever he had in his bag.
And that's the kind of person.
That was the kind of person Luqman was.
Picture when he's standing next to Malcolm?
Well, they're outside somewhere, and Malcolm's there. It's a rare picture. You don't find it nowhere.
Reading the paper?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. You seen that picture?
I've seen that picture.
Yeah, that's a serious
He showed
picture.
you that picture.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to Mexico. So, can you tell me what he told you about what happened and what he did to Sensei?
They just shot him.
You say they was.
I mean, he just shot him.
He just shot him.
Well, that was this. This is one of the stories that the car stops
In Mexico.
in Mexico. The car stops, and Luqman, already knowing what the deal is, got out the car and looked under the hood and watched the movements through the under the hood from the front, and just walked around to the window there and bow.
Okay, so was he in the front seat, the back seat?
He was in the back seat. Sensei was in. Wait a minute. I believe it was the front because the guy, Sensei had to be in the front seat because there was another guy in the back seat that was really into Sensei. Let me see. So maybe it was another man on the other side of the back seat, and then there was Sensei in the front seat. So he got Sensei. So we just walked right around. So just walked right around the, just to the door there and shot it.
He shot him straight through the window.
Yeah. Well, the window was down or whatever, however it was, I don't know, but he shot him. That's what the story.
The guy that was in the back seat that was really into Sensei, that's John 57X Gray.
That's who that is.
That's the person that was in the back seat. He was the Sensei nut, right?
Yeah. That was, I don't know his name, but he was a Sensei nut. He just couldn't believe that Luqman just took the Sensei out. You know, he was just hysterical about that. Now, what happened to him, I don't know. I don't know whether Luqman shot him for getting hysterical. I don't know. I don't know, but that's just what kind of person Luqman was, But the person that was shot there was placed in they're one of those drainage pipes.
Covert or something like that?
Well, it's just those aluminum pipes that go over aluminum pipes, and then the water runs through by the road. I don't know what you call them, but he was thrown in one of those little pipes there.
Now, did they? Okay, so the other guy that was there had to be Reuben Francis, that was in the car with Luqman when he shot.
So why did it have to be Reuben? Why would it have to be?
I'm thinking it's Reuben because Reuben is the one that left New York with him.
So look, Reuben disappeared.
Reuben disappeared.
Around that time?
Oh, yeah. And my understanding is that from what Luqman tells me, that Reuben was down there with the three people that were down there, what we know for sure, are Luqman, John 57X Gray, the person that was crazy about Sensei, and also Reuben Francis, whose real name we find out later is Milton Reuben Francis.
Okay.
Those are the three people that's down there for sure.
Okay.
In addition to Sensei.
Okay.
And so when he shoots Sensei in the back in the head,
right.
I'm assuming it's in the head.
Yeah. On the face.
In the face,
yeah.
Okay, he shoots him, and then John 57X Gray is hysterical, what have you, and Reuben Francis is there. So they know that he has shot Sensei.
Sensei, yeah.
Okay. So he pulls his body out and he throws him in a ditch.
Yeah, just say a ditch, but there was like this round aluminum thing that separated the earth, and the water comes through those drainage ditches with a little thing. That's where he put him in there.
And was it a situation, and I'm just asking you questions you may or may not know the answer to. Was it a situation that when his body was placed in there, was it something where his body maybe perhaps could have been found, or there was no chance for his body to be found, or some chance?
That I don't know. I don't know whether it was the water was. I don't know how deep the water was or nothing like that. I just know it's where they put him. Okay. He didn't go into detail on it.
He didn't go into detail. No. Did he tell you in what city that was in? I know they were in Mexico City.
Right. No, but I do know that they went to the embassy from there, but I don't know what city that was, where it was.
They went to the embassy after.
Somewhere
Sensei.
after, yeah, because they were leaving. You know, the intent was to leave, so that's where they went and got onto the waters.
So,
I do.
Do you know how long? Now, do you know how long they were in Mexico?
No.
Do you know if they stayed around in Mexico for any length of time after Sensei was killed?
Yeah, I'm sure they were there for a minute. Now, I don't know how long, but they were there to get the proper papers to go on to some country. It was
Cuba?
no, not Cuba at that particular time. It was another. I think it was France. Was it France? No, what country was that? It was somebody that was like fighting.
Algeria?
I'm not sure. It was Algiers, maybe, and I'm not sure, but it was something. There was some people that were fighting, and I remember he said he got this boat and went and joined that particular Algeria. Okay. So I think that's where he left and went from Mexico there, because like
That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, at some point, so he tells you that the reason so the specific, clear reason that he killed Sensei was because Sensei was trying to kill him?
Because he killed Malcolm.
Because he killed Malcolm.
That was the main reason. And so the people wanted everybody, the people, the system, they wanted everybody that was around Malcolm. That's why they started gathering the people that they gathered, because those were the people that were close to Malcolm. So those people knew something, had the capability of doing certain things, and they just didn't want those people around. That's why they gathered the people that they gathered had nothing to do with what happened.
You say they gathered
The establishment, whoever those people,
okay.
the government entities that wanted to take Malcolm out, that sent Sensei there in the first place, they didn't want nobody that knew Malcolm, that was in Malcolm's circle, to survive. So they started gathering those people up, and that's why they did that.
Here's the part that I'm trying to understand. This part I'm trying to understand is there seems as though there's some type of relationship between Sensei and Luqman prior to him leaving. Is there such a relationship?
Prior to them leaving too?
Yeah, even prior to Malcolm's killing. Is there any kind of relationship? I know they know.
Well, Luqman always wanted to take him out. You know, he wanted to take him out from what happened, but he wasn't he know he couldn't do it like hand to hand. He couldn't do that. And plus everybody else loved Sensei. But so he did it the way he could do it. So he got him, however he got him to go to Mexico. That's why he took him to Mexico.
But okay, was there?
I don't know whether they was a buddy at any time. I don't know, but I do know they were. Both of them was free agents. So maybe they met somewhere in the past. I don't know. We have thought about some things. You know, I mean, we have thought about some things. You know, because this story is really like who shot Kennedy kind of situation, and that is just that complicated.
You say we. Who is it we?
Just the people that Luqman used to talk to, just that inner circle of people that, you know, study group, Brotherhood of St. Malcolm, we call it.
Right. Did you guys, did anybody ever express any thoughts that? Okay.
Go ahead and say it.
Was anybody ever express any thoughts that?
And Luqman had something that had something to do with Malcolm's death?
That, or that he was working at some point with Sensei?
It's possible. It's highly possible.
Why do you say that?
I respect Luqman to the utmost, because one, he survived, and it was more than just divine intervention. You know what I mean? Luqman had been confronted by some serious people, but he just couldn't go against Malcolm. That was his reason for coming to the nation, because he wanted to be fighting for black people. So he turned a few people down, government. He told me he turned some jobs down. So it's possible that he was, you know. I've thought about it.
You thought about him working with Sensei?
Not exactly Sensei, but I say, well, if anybody could have took Malcolm out, you know, that was the man, you know. But well, it's possible.
We're not saying yes.
No. I would never say yes.
Yeah.
But Luqman is intelligent, super intelligent. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Luqman is in something else.
Yeah.
When I was with him on the phone, just talking.
Yeah.
Something else. See, the thing that bothers me, not bothers me, but the thing that I'm trying to get in my head is that is it as simple as, okay, Malcolm gets killed, I'm leaving. The first question I always had was, why is Luqman leaving? I can understand Reuben leaving. See,
Right.
Reuben shot two people.
Right.
He shot Hayer in the leg, who killed Malcolm, and then he ended up shooting somebody else in the liver, and decided to go over. They indict Reuben Francis. Reuben was already an ex-con with a gun, shot two people. They might charge him with double attempted homicide. Luqman says, hey, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I can understand him leaving. The part that I'm having a problem with grasping is the exact reason that Luqman is leaving. Now, if you say that he's leaving because he thinks that they're going to take everybody out, but aren't there other people who didn't leave? I mean, you got another that core set.
Yeah, but most of those guys got picked up. So they got picked up. But one of the reasons that Luqman left was because he was dismantling. One reason, he was dismantling the army. He had to do that before he left. He dismantled the army. See, Malcolm was gone. There was no other reason to keep the army together. So that's one thing he did before he left, is he dismantled the army. Just went to different states, and that they had people there that just say, okay, it's over. But they didn't know, you know, who Luqman was, but that was one of his jobs before he left here.
Dismantle the army?
Yeah.
What army are you speaking of?
You know, United Nation of Islam have the FOI. Well, Luqman go all the way back to the Panthers. You know, he started a lot of these movements, these revolutionary movements, these armed movements. He started a lot of those movements, but he had one specifically, expressly designed for Malcolm, and it was like
He told you.
nation, yeah.
Did Malcolm know this?
Yeah.
Did the people that was a part of Malcolm's inner circle know this?
The inner circle, like Malcolm and Luqman and whoever else was there, those brothers that were there, they knew, yeah.
And Luqman had helped create this?
Luqman created that. That's Luqman.
Did he tell you whether or not anyone ever questioned him over the death of Sensei? Or suspected him? Government agency, anything?
No, he didn't. No, it just something that happened, and it just happened. You know, nobody knew what the deal was. And I believe because he stayed out of the shadows, he knew how to get into the light, and he knew how to get out of the light. That's how way he was. And he had that like a science. It was.
What did he say that the reaction was? Did he have any concern over the other brothers in the car who saw him kill Sensei?
I'm not sure just that one guy that loved Sensei, but somewhere down the line something happened with those guys. You know, maybe those are the same guys, because there's a boat comes into play somewhere. I don't know whether it was before he left Mexico. Was that happen before he left Mexico?
That was after he got back.
After he got back from Mexico?
And that same guy you're speaking of was on that boat.
Was on that boat. Okay, so that happened once he got back to the States?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, my understanding is that that guy drowned.
Yeah. That was the whole purpose of getting the boat, and the whole boat situation was for that particular purpose.
What did he?
To that person that got drowned, the whole boat scenario was designed for that purpose. That's the essence of Luqman's skills right there. And that whole situation was set up for that, even to the point of making the boat sink and the whole thing.
Really?
That's the story.
So Luqman what did Luqman exactly tell you?
He just said that's what happened. He I don't know the total reason of why he did it, but he told me that he did that. He got the boat for that particular purpose, and he sunk the boat for that particular purpose. I think he even called the authorities on that. I'm not sure, but I think he did say he called the authorities. But the guy was the guy that he really cared for went down. He didn't see him, so that kind of like shocked him. But the guy that he didn't care for was begging to be saved, but he just told him bye-bye and let him drown. But the other guy popped up, and he saved the other guy because it wasn't his intentions to. Now, I've heard that it was a guy that people suspect that came up missing. I've heard that it was him by, other people, but I'm not sure if that was I've heard a name like, we called his name a few minutes ago. Yeah, you called his name.
John 57 X-ray?
What was his other name? Reuben.
Oh, they thought it was him.
Well, that's that kind of like come up every now and then, like, was that Reuben Francis that he allowed to drown there? But I'm not sure whether that was it or not.
No, I don't think.
You don't think that was him?
No, it wasn't. I know it wasn't Reuben.
Okay.
Okay, so he said, did he say why he did that?
Because he was one of the brothers that was against Malcolm, or had something to do with Malcolm's death. That's why he did it. That's why he was doing most of the things that he was doing was because of Malcolm, or for Malcolm.
You mean Luqman suspected
Did
John?
the guy that he drowned, or let drown? That's what the story was.
He felt that he was working with Sensei?
Yes. Well, yes. Now you say that. Yeah. Because it boils down to it really wasn't the nation. It wasn't the nation. The nation was infiltrated. Now, the nation people didn't like Malcolm, they're jealous and all that, but the reason that the government killed him, make a long story short, the reason that the government killed Malcolm was he was fixing to do his thing at the United Nations. That's why they had to get rid of Malcolm. And some type of way they picking up on that along the way. And so if he would have got to that point, man, and if the government, would have retaliated against what he was saying, then it would have went down. And they knew that.
Did Malcolm say anything about,
Luqman
say anything about what tipped him off about Sensei in the first place? Anything that when this guy here is not with us, he can't be trusted?
No, he didn't say that, but he just something he knew. That's one of the things he just took with him. I mean, something like that, he don't give no times. Something about times. He's not going to tell you what time it was or what date it was. So he played the game of that logical, legal game down to the last day, man.
Did he tell you anything as to why and how he gave Malcolm the gun 3 or 4 days prior to his assassination? That gun that he had given Malcolm.
3 or 4 days before his assassination?
I think it was like within that week at least.
Well, I was thinking that it was like closer up, like even on the day that it happened.
Okay.
But on the day that it happened, yeah.
Now did he share with you that last conversation he had with Malcolm?
Well, Malcolm didn't want the gun. He didn't want security or none of that. He had came to grips with, what the deal was, and he was ready to accept the fate, because he had realized on the spiritual side that
All right.
Sorry, no problem.